All right. Thank you for joining me for webinar tonight on building a solid friendship within your relationship. Our agenda tonight is I'm going to go through a welcome and intro, why friendship is the foundation, the pillars of friendship in relationships, and practical tools and connection exercises. So just want to welcome you and everyone to the intimate journey. This is where we get to explore love, connection, and intimacy in all its beautiful forms. Tonight, we're talking about something that often goes overlooked in romantic relationships, friendship. Because love without friendship can fade, but friendship within love is what keeps us rooted and connected through life's challenges. So I'm going to take us through a little bit of a grounding to kind of get us all in to the space throughout the day. There's different stressors and things of that nature, right? So getting to just take a moment and ground ourselves can help us to really connect and let go of the stressors of. So I just invite you to wherever you are, have your feet on the ground so that you're connected to earth, and take a deep breath in. And as you take a deep breath in, think about your partner. What's one small thing you genuinely like about who they are, not just what they do for you? And take another deep breath in and just release all of it. Take it all out. That is the heart of friendship. Seeing and appreciating the person behind the partner. So before we really dive in, this is interactive. Feel free to jump in and ask questions if you'd like. You can participate as much or as less as you would like. So a little fun. Did you know couples who are friends above all else are better equipped to survive stress and hardships than couples who are not? So the foundation. Why is friendship the foundation? There's a lot that goes into this. So this is kind of where we're going to dive a little deep here. To start off, romantic love often starts with chemistry, but it is sustained through connection and shared friendship. So let's talk about why friendship is truly the foundation of a lasting and loving relationship. Passion can light the spark, but it's the friendship that keeps the fire burning steady over time, right? So, in the beginning, if you just take a moment and think back to the beginning of your relationship. If you're in a relationship right now, think back to the beginning of your current relationship, or if you're not, maybe look at your last relationship. In the beginning, that love often feels electric, right? The butterflies, the cravings, the attraction. But chemistry alone can't carry a relationship forever. What actually sustains long-term relationships is the friendship layer. Being each other's confidant, playmate, and safe space. It's the feeling that says, even when the spark shifts, I still love being with you, right? So, an example to this could be, think about older couples you've seen who still laugh together. They may not be passionately making out on the couch, right? Or in public, but Their friendship radiates warmth and safety. They're laughing together, they're telling little jokes or teasing each other, right? And that's what keeps love alive, that playfulness. Now, friendship also brings trust, laughter, and understanding. These are the things that make relationships feel safe. So again, think when you think about your closest friends, right? Your best friend, someone that knows you trust them completely. You laugh authentically with them, right? You know you can be yourself completely around them. The same goes for your partner. Friendships create emotional safety where you can express your thoughts, mess ups, and show vulnerability without fear of judgment. Connecting that into why the friendship is the foundation. When that safety is present, connection deepens naturally because you know your love is rooted in genuine care, not a performance, right? Now, research like the Gottman Institute shows couples who like each other genuinely fare better long term. Now, that may seem silly, right? You're in a relationship, of course you like each other. But a lot of times people they'll start with the like and then they jump right into love, but they didn't build that friendship of really getting to know the core of someone and having that like become strong and substantiated, right? And just move right into love. Love can falter, but if you really like someone, I mean, long-term friendships, there are people out there that have friends for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? And let's think about that. Why is that? Because you genuinely like the person. You like who they are. And so in like this example of this research, John Gottman's research found that at the core of every lasting happy marriage is friendship. Couples who generally like each other, not just love each other, handle conflict better, they feel more supported, and they stay connected through all of life's challenges. It's not about being perfect partners because reality is there is no perfect partner. There are so many people out there looking for the perfect man, the perfect woman. Doesn't exist. That's not reality. It's being with, it's about being with your favorite person, right? It's not about the perfect partner, but it's being with your favorite person. And that takes actually liking the person you're with. Um, and it's unfortunate there's so many relationships out there that people are with partners that they do not like. And they stay in those relationships for one reason or another. It could be an anxious attachment style, they're codependent. It could also be that there's abuse involved and manipulation that keeps them in it. There's a lot of different reasons why people stay in relationships that they really should be out of. And part of it is that they don't like the person, but they're afraid to end it. And that can stem to the people pleasing aspect as well. So it's really important to work on friendship in the foundation of a relationship. And this doesn't have to be just at the beginning of a relationship. Just as you have your friendships, there's times throughout a friendship that you don't get along. You may go a year without talking, right? But when you reconnect, you continue to build and add value into that friendship because you care about it. You want to protect it and nurture that friendship. The same with a relationship. It doesn't matter if it's at the very beginning, the middle, or towards the end of the relationship. As you're getting older, you should always be strengthening that friendship within your relationship. So, friendship and love means I enjoy who you are, even when we disagree, right?
Mhm.
So, friendship
Yeah.
doesn't mean you never argue or disagree. That's absurd. It means even in those tough moments, even when we're in a complete breakdown, disagreement, argument, there's still respect. There's still fondness. There's still a foundation of care. You may not like their behavior in the moment, but you still value who they are. That's where that friendship in the foundation really comes into play, and how you view each other, how you speak to each other, how you treat each other in those moments of disagreements. And that's the kind of love that says we're on the same team, even when we're not seeing eye to eye. And this is one of the things that I think a lot of people tend to forget in the heat of the moment in an argument is that it's you against me, me against you, when in reality, it really should be us against whatever the problem is, right? If you're struggling with, I don't know, a disagreement with when to set up the Christmas tree, because we're rapidly approaching Christmas, right? There happens to be a disagreement on the Christmas tree. It's not me against you, you against me. It's us against the problem, which is when do we put up the Christmas tree? You may say November 1st, which is my idea. But he may say no, December 1st. Okay, well, how can we come to a solution? Can we come up with a compromise? Maybe we do it Thanksgiving weekend, not November 1st. It's not December 1st, but there's a compromise there, right? So it's the two of you talking together to come up with a solution to whatever the problem is and not be attacking each other. And that can really help deflect, not deflect, but de escalate different problems and disagreements. So one of the little reflection moments I want to provide to everyone that's participating tonight and listening in, um, I want you to just take a moment to check in with yourself. So I invite you to just kind of close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and have this kind of thinking in the back of your head, right? When you think about your relationship, do you feel like your partner is your friend? Yes or no? Why or why not? And this is just for yourself, something to think about. And this is a great reflection question throughout your relationship, not just tonight, but do you feel like your partner is your friend? And if not, I encourage you to have a conversation with them, get to know them. And I'm going to give some exercises that you can implement in to your current relationship to really start building that foundation of friendship or rekindle that friendship again. Um, and you don't have to share this tonight, but be honest with yourself. Notice what comes up. Maybe it's warmth, maybe it's sadness, maybe it's gratitude. All of it is information. Friendships can be always, always, always can be rebuilt, strengthened, and rekindled. It's just the effort that you and your partner put into it. All right. Speaking of practical tools, I have them right here for you. So, there are some practical tools I'm going to go over and some like connection exercises that can really help either help with building that initial foundation of friendship if you're new in a relationship, or if you're somewhere in the middle, if you're, getting to the end of like life and it's you're feeling like roommates and not romantic lovers. Doing some of these exercises can really help reconnect you no matter what stage you're in your relationship. So the first one is daily friendship moments. So with this, choose one small daily action to nurture your friendship. I have a couple examples that I'll give. And then you can always Google search more. You can reach out to me for more if you'd like. But one is share one thing you appreciate about each other every night. Two could be send a thinking of you text midday. And a third option is do a 10-minute cuddle or walk and talk without any distractions. Love social media to a certain extent, but our phones are one of the biggest distractions in relationships. And if you can just set your phone aside for 10 minutes, if you're really attached to it, set a timer and allow yourself 10 minutes to cuddle, to walk and talk, to just be mindful with each other, do an eye gazing moment. But all of this is to help with that connection. My my boyfriend and I, every single night, we share 3 things that we're grateful for from that day. And a lot of times it is something that we appreciate of each other. This morning he took all the cardboard out to the recycling for me that was in the house. I didn't have to ask, but that's something that I'll be sharing tonight in my gratitudes with him because I do appreciate that he did that. So with this is consistency builds connection. So don't just do this like one day, right? And then nothing else the rest of the week, nothing else the rest of the month, nothing else the rest of the year. You have to have that consistency. We do our gratitudes every single night, almost religiously at this point. That consistency builds connection. That consistency helps build trust as well, because you trust that every night we're going to say something that we appreciate of each other, or we're going to do these 10-minute cuddle sessions without any distractions. Whatever it is, that consistency helps strengthen that connection. Those small moments of friendship are what makes love last. The second exercise is remember when. So with this one, it's ask, remember when we, and then recall a fun or meaningful shared moment. So you can revisit those memories to reignite warmth. Maybe it's the first time, like we just went to my boyfriend's first NFL game on Monday night. So it could be 3 months from now. I can come back to this exercise and say, remember when we went to your first NFL game? And it reignites that warmth and that excitement. And you start talking about like what happened in that moment, right? And those memories. This exercise right here works really beautifully after conflict or like there's been emotional distance, because you're reconnecting, you're remembering something that was fun and memorable, and you start talking about it, and that helps kind of reconnect there. And then the final little exercise practice is I like you because, and each person takes turns completing the statement. And it's, I like you because, not I love you because, I like you because. And the reason why is this keeps it grounded in friendship, not romance, but friendship. So I like you because you're into hockey, like my boyfriend. I like you because you're humble. I like you because you're considerate. I like you because you're a great father. Whatever it is. And you take turns stating that. You would do as many as you want. It could be two or three if you feel compelled to share 10 or more in a moment. You can do this as often as you want. So there are some pillars to building a friendship in relationships. And I'm going to go over those. There's 4 pillars. First one is trust and emotional safety. What does that mean to you? Just think about that. What does trust and emotional safety mean to you? A lot of times we say that's what we want, but we don't know what that means to us. So I think it's really important to take a moment and really consider and think about, what does trust and emotional safety mean to me? And through that, trust, emotional safety, it builds honesty, consistency, and empathy. Friendship means I can be myself with you without fear. So I have a small little exercise to go with this. I want everyone, if you have pen and paper handy, or if not, come back to this. But write down one way I can show up as a safe space for my partner is. Now I'll repeat that again. One way I can show up as a safe space for my partner is. And this is something to just journal, think about, process. And it gets you thinking about how you're showing up for your partner. And then in turn, how would you like for your partner to show up for you? How would you like your partner to create safe space for you as well? The second pillar is shared play and joy. I think at some point, it could be 7 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, we tend to forget that. And we just are kind of coasting through the day to day of our lives, of our relationship, and we forget to be playful and fun and have that joy. Playfulness actually keeps relationships alive. The inside jokes, shared adventures, teasing with kindness. Key there, teasing with kindness. What are some things that you do that are playful in your own relationship? Let's have a little moment of pause to think about that. So, what's something playful or lighthearted you used to do together that you stopped doing? And did you stop doing it because neither one of you really liked it anymore? Or did you just stop doing it because life happened, right? But you miss doing that. If so, I invite you to have a conversation with your partner and talk about it. The communication is so important, right? So having these conversations with your partner, when we used to do X, Y, Z, why we stopped, but I would love for us to start that up. Maybe it's a game night that once a week you play cards, dominoes, board games, do a puzzle, whatever it is that you used to do together. Maybe you start that up again. In fact, I do encourage you to bring that back. If there's something that you used to do, talk to your partner, discuss about bringing it back and see how that changes things. The third pillar is curiosity and appreciation. Friendship thrives on wanting to know each other continually. How do we get to know each other continually, ask open-ended questions. Active listening, which means listening deeply without trying to respond. Show interest in their world. We're listening to understand, getting to know them. So I have some examples of maybe some open-ended questions that you can ask your partner and also share, not just have it one-sided of asking your partner, but also share for you as well. One could be, what has been bringing you joy lately? Even the smallest thing. What's been on your mind that you haven't had space to take, or sorry, talk about? If you could change one thing about our routines or our lifestyle, what would it be? Another, what makes you feel most loved and desired by me? That could, that question alone could be so deep and so eye-opening. And a lot of times we take that for granted, I think. And that could be a really great question to really dig deep into getting to know each other. And I'll leave one last one on this. And I love this one. How have you grown as a person since we've been together? Because this can say a lot. It can say a lot about them and it can say a lot about you. Because have they not grown at all? Have they not learned anything from you? And if not, how maybe you should think about how you can start showing up more. And are you growing as a person too? Because as we're growing, we're either growing together or we're growing apart. And if we're not growing at all, I can say, if I'm not growing, I'm dying. Just like out in nature, everything is growing. And if it's not growing, it's dying, right? So if I'm not growing, I'm dying. And if we're not growing together, our relationship's going to end up dying. So this could be a really profound question there to connect with one another. So an exercise with this one, this third pillar, ask your partner this week, what's something you've been craving lately? Emotionally, physically, or creatively even. And just listen to what they say without trying to fix it, without trying to go into like savior mode. Just listen and be supportive. And then the fourth pillar is support and teamwork. Be your partner's cheerleader, not their critic. Friendship and love says we are on the same side. It's not me against you, you against me. We're on the same side. We're on the same team. It's us against the world. It's us against the problem, right? And a journal prompt on this fourth pillar could be, how can I better support my partner's goals or dreams, even the small ones? And if you go through these questions and these exercises, I guarantee you it's going to help strengthen that friendship within your relationship. When friendship deepens into love, it becomes a love that is unbreakable. There's a bond there. So, some closing reflection here. Romance is wonderful, but friendship, that is the glue that holds it all together. When you nurture that bond through play, trust, curiosity, your relationship becomes a place of peace, laughter, and lasting love. So I want to leave you with some final journal prompts. One is, what's one way I can be a better friend to my partner this week? 2, how do I feel when my partner treats me like their best friend? And 3, what kind of friendship do I want our love to feel like? Maybe you've never thought of these, and that's okay. But these could be some very profound, deep journal prompts that get you thinking and helps you to show up better as a friend for your partner, but also helps you to communicate with your partner how you would like for them to show up as your friend too. And as we wrap up tonight's intimate journey together, I want you to remember this: friendship is the heartbeat of lasting love. It's the laughter, the safety, and the genuine liking of one another that keeps intimacy alive long after that initial spark fades. Take time this week to nurture that friendship. I ask that you do just one small thing that reminds your partner, I see you, I like you, I enjoy being with you. Those small moments are what make love feel like home. And if tonight's conversation resonated with you, I'd love for you to join me next week for another powerful session, Overcoming Low Libido, Rediscovering Desire. That's happening next Wednesday, October 22nd at 8 p.m. We'll dive into the emotional, mental, and physical layers of desire and explore how to reignite passion in a compassionate, holistic way. I want to thank you for being here, for showing up for your relationship, and for continuing to walk this journey of deeper connection. Remember, intimacy isn't just about passion, it's about partnership, play, and presence. Keep nurturing the friendship within your love. I'm Stephanie Moutei, and this is The Intimate Journey, and I will see you next week.